Look, I know they have pod racing on Malice there, but you've never seen it like this. The 2009 classic, Redline. And you know why? 'Cause I don't know jack squat about anime. But I'm gonna learn with all of my friends. Will you be here when my quest ends? So Redline starts with a 13-minute cold open, like it's 13 minutes before you actually see the name of the movie, Redline. And it shows this race between all these characters who are clearly from different planets. It is a sci-fi racing movie, and so you see all kinds of different creatures, very cool designs on all these creatures. You got one guy looks like a dog. One lady is green and has tentacles with her eye at the end of the tentacle, like all this kind of stuff. 13-minute race. It establishes the tone of the movie. Then you meet the main character. His name is JP. In that cold open, he loses the race. He gets his car wrecked up, and you find out that he owes the mob money. That's why he was racing.
You knew what you were getting into, buddy. Now you're off the hook with your bondsman. Call me when you want to get in the game again. We'd make a hell of a lot of money together, you know. You crazy? What the hell you think you're doing?
I changed my mind. Keep the money.
You're telling me you suddenly got principles or something? Your bondsman ain't gonna like that.
So they put me back in. I'm cool with that.
Because a couple of the racers dropped out of the race or just quit, he gets to move forward and race in the red line. Now that's the Indy 500 of this thing.
What do you think about getting to go to Redline after cracking up on the track? Come on, Sweet JP, give me a big smile for William Fan.
After having one of the worst crashes ever, are you gonna race or are you gonna drop out?
I'm saying you don't know you're qualified.
In an unbelievable turn of events, Kurukuru Daza and Shota Ojin have declined to participate. This makes Blue Line champs Miki Todoroki and JP, who raced brilliantly at Yellow Line, immediately eligible for entry into competition at Red Line.
Story kind of gets into all the people kind of involved in this race, and a lot of shady characters, a lot of gambling, and mob people and all this kind of stuff. And one of them is a girl that he falls in love with. But it's really a very thin plot. Like it is very much animation to show off some very impressive animation. Like but it's all visual, and the story is a little too simple in my humble opinion. Just animation for animation's sake. And that animation's awesome. Like the design of the characters, and these cars too. And I was joking about the pod racing scene in the Phantom Menace. This was made 10 years after. It's kind of like that. The designs of these vehicles are very kind of interesting looking. You get enough backstory on everybody to care about them when they're racing and smashing up their vehicles and stuff like that. But it is a very bare bones plot. Well, I lost interest towards the end, and I still wanted to see who won. So it captured my interest enough to. It's the big race now. I gotta see who won. But yeah, I wasn't very impressed with the story, but the animation is great. Like, was probably the appeal of it. So I don't normally put parental advisory stuff in my videos because I normally review Ghibli movies. That's why. But this movie does have some language in it, and at first I'm just like, well, it didn't seem, it seemed PG-13ish, and I'm like, there's a scene that's not sexual, but like where a woman's walking around topless in her apartment, and then there's no extreme violence except for the end. There's some blood. All the stuff you might not want a kid to see is all at the end. Like it kind of gets the language. The F-bombs are at the end. So I'm just throwing that out there because I normally review Ponyo. I thought the plot was a little too simple, but great animation. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 cars. I got to think of something better than that. Whatever. I didn't care for it anyway. 3.5 out of 5. Love the animation, but it was plot was very bare bones. So thanks for watching this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment any anime you'd like me to watch in the future. And again, even anime that you think is terrible, I like to check it out. And as always, this video is sponsored by Turtle Rocket Books, quirky top shelf sci-fi in a literary sci-fi multiverse. Want to see some weird stuff?